Hey.
Live and direct. Boogie Down Productions. Select or rewind. What it do, Chico? What it do, runners? It is time for the morning run live from downtown Houston. It's game day. The morning run.
Friday night under the lights is going down in a major way. In H time, put him in the air. And Unc got him a Trill burger. We got to talk about that and give a preview of the game. Uncle Neely, Big Dog Chico coming to you live and direct. Shout out to all my runners out there who's checking in with us. So what we doing in the chat, Miss Dawn Duncan? Put your city and your state in the chat also. Unc, you had a long night. I had a long night too. Up and at 'em and ready to go. What's it looking like in Houston? Is it hot out there already?
I know you. Well, I almost cussed you out. Hell yeah, it's hot. What you talking about? Man, yesterday we got here. Coach Prime likes to take the guys right to the stadium to do a walkthrough, so you can learn what a locker room is, learn how to get from the locker room to the field. That way on game day, you've already been there. Quarterbacks go out there, try to find out what the shot clock is. Kickers go out there, test the wind, just getting acclimated. It was 6:30 p.m. and it was 90 degrees, Chico.
90
I'm outside.
degrees.
I'm outside right now and it's hot, but I'm in the shade. And sorry for looking like I'm in the witness protection program, because every time I move, the clouds move, and so this is really the best we're gonna get. But it's me. It's good old coming from the balcony at the team hotel. Team is getting ready for lunch right inside. We got Adam gonna join us. He's in town as well. So just looking forward to a exciting evening game, Chico. It's gonna be on ESPN. First conference game for the Colorado Buffs this year on the road with the Houston Cougars. Spent some time talking to Coach Jay Phillips, who played here in Houston, a two-time All-American here in Houston. And, great conversation, just what it's like to manage those emotions of playing where you once played. Same conversation with the DJ McKinneys and even Coach Andre Hart's, who have Texas roots and have a lot of family attending this game.
Right. He said it's right down the highway from his home in Dallas to Houston. Straight shot. You can't miss it. So I'm sure there's a lot of guys happy to be back home, get that good home cooking, that stuff they're used to, some barbecue, things like that. So it's going to be a good game to look out for. We got Dukes the Scoop checking in. We also have Adam checking in. We're going to bring on the stage in a second also. Dukes, what's up?
Yo, man, I don't know, man.
You don't know you've been having problems, having issues, brother?
Yes, bro. I don't know what's going on in here, but I think my whole setup been infiltrated by somebody trying to get some information on me.
Hey man, don't worry about the devil. The devil busy. I set my drink down yesterday, walked away for a minute, came back, my whole water spilled over my computer. Like, what's going on? The wind had apparently blew in and blew my shade to knock my drink over right over to my computer. I couldn't believe it. So
yeah, man. So luckily, I ain't doing that, so you can't catch me doing that.
Okay. Well, you gotta be like, I was gonna say be like Taylor Swift and shake it off, but it got to be somebody else that got another shake it off that I can reference. But
man, go ahead and do Taylor Swift, boy.
Don't worry about it. We didn't there. We're gonna bring on Adam.
Go ahead, check it off.
Let's talk some football and bring on Adam Buster Tiger. Adam, what's happening?
What's going on, guys? How are you doing?
My boy Adam.
Doing good. Adam, you were just in Boulder yesterday. You a ninja.
Hey, man, don't go ahead. Samurai.
I'm just fleet of foot, man. That's all I am.
Yes, indeed.
Adam,
I'm not taking the bait on that.
Adam, let me get your take on something. I don't know if you heard from the green room, but the first thing Chico asked me, was it hot? And I would like to get your answer.
I was about to ask him the same thing.
So the funny thing is, I've spent all of 5 minutes outside here in Houston so far. I got in yesterday later in the day. It was hot for those few moments. getting to my Uber and getting over to the hotel. But this trip was get some good food and recharge a little bit. I slept 11 hours last night. I got 3 teenagers at home and 2 dogs and a wife. And I turned on the hotel TV to flip around it, and I was out in like 5 minutes. So that's been my trip to Houston so far.
2 things I want to point out, Adam, in reverse order. One, the fact that you've been inside all that time. So the answer is yes, it's hot. And then second, I want your wife to know, because I'm a big fan of hers, you did not name everybody in priority. You saved the best for last. You know, it didn't go kids, dogs, wife. I just want her to know that she's top of the list.
But she is top of the list always. And Neely, come on, man. What are you trying to do here?
I'm trying to help you, Adam. Like, I'm trying to throw you a lifeline. You said I got teenagers, a dog, and a wife. Like, oh, Adam, like,
no, my wife is wonderful, and you've seen her down there on the field, Unc, and she is so talented. And she works for Larimer County, which not to take this down a negative path, but there was like somebody missing in Carter Reservoir yesterday, so she is working her butt off. We had to get our like dogs into daycare today, so it's a whole thing on the family front. But my wife is a rock star. She really is.
She absolutely is, man. Look, she is a beast behind that camera, man. It takes great pictures out there at game day, and she finds a way to even make Adam and Uncle Neely look good with the camera.
It's challenging, but she does it. She does.
Adam says, "Speak for yourself, Unc."
Well, let me speak for myself and say this. Adam, I'm downtown Houston like you are. I'm out on a balcony, so forgive me for looking like I'm in the witness protection program, because every time the clouds move, my lighting moves, and I got tired of fighting the clouds, so I'm just going to sit still right here. This is the morning run coming at you live. Adam and I in Houston, where the Colorado Buffs are in town to take on the Houston Cougars for our first conference game. So we're going to talk a little ball with Dukes and Chico. If you're in the chat, as always, let us know where you're watching from, where you're checking in from. If you got a question, we hopefully will see it. If you're making a super chat, we damn sure go see it.
Matter of fact, shouts out to Clara Jones, who's a member, who just came through with the super chat for the $1.99. Thank you for the support. All right, let's go with a preview. Where you want to start, Adam, or Unc, or even Dukes? Previewing this game versus the Houston Cougars at home. Tough place to play. Probably going to be packed out, like Coach Prime said, because they're coming into town. What's your outlook for the ball game, guys?
I think as far as all eyes are going to be at the quarterback position first and foremost. So if I can start it off, Adam, where do you expect for Colorado to be quarterback wise, if you had any opinion on that from your perspective?
What I said all week is that I would expect Coach Prime to go with Ryan Staub, not based on any knowledge beyond just a gut feeling of how he kind of operates this program. And maybe he deserves that opportunity, waiting around for 3 years and getting into this spot to make some big plays for Colorado. He's definitely operating in this offense with that familiarity that you want to see from a third-year quarterback in the program, which is hard to overcome. But I guess my personal preference, honestly, would be for Caden Salter, just from the ceiling I feel for this football team this season is going to be the highest with him behind center. And I know they got to work out some of the intricacies, and he's got to kind of figure out how to flow within what Pat Shurmur is calling. But I think, this is a long season. And a year ago, after 2 weeks, we were looking at 1-1, very similar, actually, maybe even more pessimistic than this time this year, because last year was with Shedeur and Travis, and they were 1-1 coming off that Nebraska game. So when I see them going out to Houston, I see this as a building opportunity for Caden Salter going forward. And I don't know if that's going to happen, but I think he is the most talented quarterback on this roster still.
Yeah, that was my thoughts. My take this past week was, go with Salter, being more experienced. I say because he's also going back to his home state, might be a little bit more comfortable. He saw what happened last couple games, or should I say last game with Staub coming in and playing very well. So I think he should have that chip on his shoulder with something to prove with his play and to stay on the field. So whoever starts, I think Houston going to be coming after them, and they're going to try to put pressure on them. But I said the same thing. I would probably myself, Coach Prime totally different, but I would go with Salter and then keep Staub on call basically to come off the bench because he's done that before. He's been in that situation, and also I think it doesn't handcuff you if you wanted to go with Staub, and if he comes in and doesn't play as well as you thought, now you have to stay with him. So I would go with Salter first, and then if I needed to, bring in Staub. That's my thoughts on it.
All right, that's a good take, Chico. And then I think what gets lost on a lot of people is they, as well as Staub played before Staub came into the game, Salter wasn't playing bad. Like, it's not like, I think I want to say he's probably hit on about 80% of his passes, if I'm not mistaken. He was really efficient as far as completion percentage goes. So I just think it's not ideal when you talk to most people, traditional football purists. It's not an ideal situation. But what's been ideal about the way that Coach Prime has ran his program, like from day one, everything that he's done has been about what he believed in. So, and I think he's going to stay true to form, and whatever he believes is what's going to happen tomorrow night as far as the quarterback position goes.
Yeah, and just to add on that, if he does go with Staub, obviously he sees something might be underlining something that might not even be on the football field or whatever. It might be something just about how the team gravitate around Ryan Staub and supports him like that. Could be that type of situation. Or, Ryan Staub could actually come in there and really run this offense and keep it, efficient, and also give it an identity in the run game and just hit his check downs. Also threaten the defense going down the field like they saw on film. So it'll be hard, of course, to go against Coach Prime with all his experience and him making a decision off of that. But like I said, I would go with Salter, but I can understand him going with Staub.
Uncle Neely, what's your take? Yeah, unmute.
Let me make sure you unmuted right there.
Yeah,
there you go.
Chico muted me. Sorry about that. I had to walk off for a second and see could I grab us a guest real quick. But I could still hear the conversation. And one thing we can always just start with the end in mind. This is a Coach Prime decision, and he's privy to information that the fans and the media don't have. He's privy to what he wants to do to spark this team or keep this game going, particularly this first Big 12 matchup. So I trust his wisdom and decision making in that regard. Adam, I've learned over my 6 seasons with him to stop betting against him because you're going to lose more than you win if you bet against him. You're going to win way more than you lose if you bet with him. So I would expect part of the keeping everything close to vest, even when he was at the press conference, Adam, and it may have been you that even asked the question, is look at the position he's put Houston in. And, I think everybody is over concerned with the position that he's put Colorado in, but he knows his team and how they respond. What he has done with this, though, is he's forced Houston all week to prepare for 3 different guys. And they're going to be wrong on 2 of them. And that means 66% of the time when they were doing those reps, they were wasting time. And that just gives you just the upper hand going into this thing. Each one of these quarterbacks is capable to get done what he wants done on the field. This is the first conference game, so it's going to be a confidence booster for whoever goes out there. Then you got Wyoming coming to home for a home game next week, and then it's just straight conference play altogether. So I would imagine, Adam and Dukes and Chico, that in the next 2 games, one of these guys is going to truly emerge as the guy for the straight run of conference play.
I'd like to throw in there that this is a good problem to have for Colorado.
Absolutely.
Football, right? The reason that there's a dilemma right now is because Ryan Staub balled out, right? And that's one of the things that the national media is focused on this controversy, but it's more of a dilemma. It's like you got 3 talented guys in this program. Who are you going to start? I covered this team in 2022 when they played 3 guys in the same game, and it was because none of those guys could do anything that was productive. And so to be in this case, I just kind of coming to reality moment, I think, for Colorado fans. It's a good thing. But you definitely hope whoever starts tonight balls out, because I think it would be better for that situation to be somewhat solidified going forward.
Adam, I love the history that you bring to the table, having covered this program. And one thing about our history in football, or even our history with Coach Prime, history with Colorado specifically, is that football has changed so much over the past 5 years. If you look at the transfer rules, the NIL stuff, the collective stuff, everything that's happened post-pandemic, you got to kind of throw out the football 101 manual. Back when folks used to say, if you got 2 quarterbacks, you ain't got one. Now in these days, you got to give everybody that you got on your roster an opportunity, or you got to just start re-recruit that position, because people will leave. And so when you have situations where you got multiple talent, multiple depth, there's what we see in our old school eyes as a controversy really is an opportunity. And I think Coach Prime is milking this opportunity to the best he can. And what everybody is seeing out there is a negative situation. I'm with you, Adam. It's quite the opposite. It's a positive situation that you got 3 capable guys who have been given a chance over not will be 3 games to prove who is that guy. And again, to Adam's point, Staub doesn't ball out against Delaware. He's not in that conversation. But he put himself in that conversation because of what he did under the lights of a real game versus it being in practice. So who would be surprised if you saw him out there with an opportunity again to, all right, let's make sure that wasn't a one-offer, as Dukes would call it, and make sure we hadn't top-graded this thing all the way out. See what you do. Let's see what you do in a road game. That would not surprise me.
Yeah, I'd agree. Speaking of another position where you've got multiple talents there, the running back rooms, we may see Dallin Hayden this week. So we can start with you, Adam. How do you see the running back rotation shaking out, and what have you seen so far from Colorado's running backs?
I want to see more of DeKalen Taylor out there because every time he seems to get targeted, he makes a big play. But I would imagine this is still kind of like a lot of positions on this Colorado team where they're still waiting for the cream to rise to the top. And you've seen that in some cases. Other cases, it's been more murky through 2 games. And now you go against a Power 4 opponent, Big 12 opponent, and I feel like that's going to start to kind of shake itself out. But I would give all 4 of those guys an opportunity, and then in the first half, and then based on who is seeming to be the hot hand, I'd go into the second half with 2 guys.
Same question, huh?
Yeah, Dallin Hayden made the trip, and the first piece of the puzzle to get in the road game is you got to get on the plane. And so he was healthy enough to get on the plane, and he practiced all week. I think he did a much better job this week in knocking off that ring rust and getting back into football shape from the injury. So I'd be interested to see what he does with his reps, his opportunities. One thing about these backs is they have 3 unique playing styles. Dallin Hayden is probably the guy that is the combination of Price, Trackhawk, and Micah. He can bowling ball somebody. He can avoid a hit. He got great hands too. But I'm going to be with Adam again on this one, man. I think that the explosive play potential of Trackhawk is why he deserves some reps situationally, because he can take what's designed to be a 4-yard run or play, and he takes it 40 yards. And that just changes the dynamic of the game because now you just extended the possession, gas the defense, et cetera, et cetera. So I like what Trackhawk brings to the table. Dukes, Chico, Adam, it kind of reminds me of that first year with Dylan Edwards. When he gets going, you're not going to catch him from behind. You just got to create that hole for him, and then he's gone. So I think you're going to see Micah situationally, because there's nothing like him on 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, like, because he wants to bowling ball somebody.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think that's another position where you can say you have a good problem. Everybody that I've seen that's touched the rock from that running back room so far in the first 2 games has had some level of success, which is hard. It's hard to do. As you come in off the bench, like it's really easy to say, hey, I'm a rhythm running back and I need this many touches to be successful. Well, you're seeing guys, whether it be the play call and the situation that they're put in, as soon as they touch the rock, you're seeing an impact. So I think that's another good position for Colorado to be in. So my next question is, I want to go to the defensive side of the ball before I get back to the offense. Who has surprised you, or who has been somebody that has played better than you even thought, even if you thought they were going to play well? Who's been somebody who stood out to you defensively? We can start with you, Uncle Neely.
Well, it's kind of old news now, but it's still surprising. BDS, man, to be in here as a freshman and to be getting reps with those guys who've played 3, 4, and 5 years, and to have told them, during spring ball in the summer, I'm going to be next to you when the fall comes, and then to have pulled it off, it's quite amazing of a feat. You can see the youth and exuberance in his eyes, and he's still thirsty, learning, still growing, still haven't anywhere near peaked out. But what he's accomplished as a freshman year to get on that field, and it just shows again, even from a recruitment standpoint, that it's not just a sales pitch. When Coach Prime tells you, I go after freshmen that can play, because I'm not trying to get somebody here and develop them 2 or 3 years. I'm recruiting you because you add something to this team right now. Last year, you went out there with the Jordan Seaton and the O. Miller and the Hart. Like, you had freshmen out there, week 1, and now you got the same thing happening as well on the defensive side. So I'm going to go with BDS as a guy who's just been like, man, that is impressive.
How about you,
Yeah,
Adam?
I'd like to pick somebody different, but Brandon Davis-Swain is the answer here. It really is. Just the way he transformed his body. I mean, when he first got in, he was kind of, is he going to be an edge guy? Is he going to be a defensive end? Is he going to be a D tackle? And he kind of found his niche here in the last year. And he's one of those guys. Every week I do a Tracking the Future feature on buffstampede.com about just breaking down the film of the guys that have committed to Colorado, and his high school film was fantastic to watch on both sides of the ball. Like, he's so athletic for his size, and that's what you want to see out of a defensive tackle, because that really is what wreaks havoc on those O-linemen that aren't as athletic. And he has definitely taken it to another level here in the last few months. And we do depth chart predictions, a top 40 Buffs countdown in the preseason. He was not on our radar. And kudos to Brandon Davis-Swain, because he really balled out this preseason. I think he's only going to continue to get better. And, the fact that he is starting in front of some of very experienced senior guys at that position tells you a lot right there.
Adam, and this ain't I told you so moment, because it was a I won't be surprised moment. I didn't guarantee it. When I watched what he was doing, transforming his body summer 1, summer 2, and then probably about the first 10 days of fall camp, I was on the morning run with Chico and Dukes and said, hey, let me tell you about this guy. Don't be surprised if, ... And here it is. He's doing it, man, and doing it at a high level. One of the things I was totally blown away with, standing next to Warren Sapp at practice one day, and he says, hey, let me tell you, that guy at 19 is better than I was at 19. All he's got to do is keep building days and keep stacking it.
Hey, Chico, I wanted to ask you, as someone who's been in that locker room and someone who's played at that on a Division I level, what does it say to the rest of the room when you have a more senior room, when you bring in a freshman and he plays over seniors? Is it a motivational tool that makes the rest of the room want to up their play? Is it something where they just tip their cap to this guy who's just supremely talented? What's the dynamic like in the room, or have you ever seen that type of dynamic?
Good question. Yes, I could easily say that I was that guy, but we're not gonna go there. I don't want to see Uncle Neely's face, but yes, I would say this. It depends on the guys individually, the seniors. If they're looking at it like, and they're just tipping their cap to them, then that shows you the type of guy they are and the position they're in and the reason why. And then you also have those guys who will be motivated by that and say, damn, this freshman is getting, or this young guy's getting playing time over me. I need to be doing something better. I say I want to go to the next level. I say I want to provide, so I need to do something better. What is that saying about me, what I'm doing at practice, and how I prepared for this, watching film in the film room? It says a lot if a freshman is coming in. But on the positive side for the freshman, it says that he's done everything right up until this point. Like Uncle Neely said, he's really improved from the first that he came in all the way to this point. Now the talent is meeting the work ethic, and it's coming along. It's like when the coaches say he's putting everything together now. And I think that's what BDS is doing. He came in, a lot of people were talking last year saying, man, this guy should be playing. this guy should be in. But they was talking about based off his high school film and his production, not really knowing that when you come into college, you still have to. Now you have to really and then make an adjustment, and it can be an adjustment for some guys. Maybe it was a small adjustment for him, but now he's hitting his stride now, and I think it's a great thing. But overall, that room now, I think it breeds that competition for the guys who are, very competitive in that room.
Chico, I like that answer, and I'll add on to it from an internal perspective. As an embedded media guy watching this team, that it has really served as a motivator. Like, what I love about it is I see older guys, Adam, cheering him on, but also fighting and clawing to get him up out of there too. And one of the things that helps is that, under Big Oose's D-line operation, there's a whole nother 3 or 4 guys coming in regardless. And so it's not like there's a situation where BDS is keeping somebody out the entirety of the game and you got to replace them even having a shot. You're going to get your plays because he's going to get winded or come out of the game situationally. And if you make the most of those opportunities, and you're going to get more opportunities. Chico, I'm going to tell you this, and this is a true story there. I had the journalist ask me, what do I got to do to get on the morning run like Adam? I said, be like or better than Adam. If you want reps, do what the guy in front of you is doing or do more than he's doing. It's that simple.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I will say this, and that's like one of my pet peeves, whether I'm a coach or I'm watching my kids or I'm watching somebody else practice. If the guys, and if you're third, fourth in line, and you come up and the coaches showed the first person how to do it, you come up there and you say, what we doing? Or you say, and you mess up the rep because you weren't paying attention. That is the worst thing. What'd you say, Art?
I said, so what we doing? They come up and say that.
Yeah, so what we doing? That's the worst thing. And, coaches hate that because if I'm coaching this guy, I'm coaching everybody. So all of y'all should be paying attention.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that I noticed, or one of I guess the position area more so than position, was I wanted to see what Colorado was going to do up the middle on defense, linebackers and safeties. What have you guys seen so far from the linebacker position? Like last week, I think Jeremiah Brown got the start in a surprise next to Martavius French. We've seen multiple players at that position. How do you, and the safeties has been fluid as well. How do you feel? How do you guys feel about Colorado right now? What they have going on from the linebacker to the safety position?
I think it's the key to victory on defense this week. I think that this is going to sound at this point like a broken record, but we got to stop the run. And a lot of times that's not just on the defensive lineman, the down lineman. That's on those linebackers coming up and filling their gaps and doing their assignment the right way, and even getting into the backfield. And I think what these linebackers want to prove, Dukes, including the defensive line, they want to prove that Georgia Tech was the outlier and that what they did against Delaware is who they truly are. So I think this is going to be an identity game for them. Georgia Tech ran the ball. Hell, they're still running the ball. But you held Delaware to about 2 yards a carry, as far as run goes. They didn't get 100 yards. And so this team is eager to prove, whether it's the linebackers or the defensive lineman, that, no, we are more of what you saw at Delaware and way less of what you saw at Georgia Tech, Adam.
Yeah, I mean, just to go back to the opener, I feel like Georgia Tech is one of those teams on your schedule that challenges you too much from that standpoint early on. You want that team in week 5, 6, 7 when you've figured it out. They definitely got a little bit more cohesive against a lower talented team in Delaware last week. That group is, as we saw with Robert Livingston last year, it's going to get better as the season goes along. And so that was just a really tough first test, and they're going to get tested again tonight, but this is a group that's going to continue to get better week by week.
Chico?
I was just trying to text you guys in the background. I have a new computer, like I told y'all, and so everything is a little bit choppy. I really didn't hear the question at all.
Oh, okay. Now I was just asking what you thought about as far as what you thought about the linebacker and the safety play so far from Colorado.
Linebacker play. I think been showing some great speed sideline to sideline. With the guys that's been in there. I like the physicalness and playing on other side of the football that Jeremiah Brown have shown. I wanted to see a lot of aggression in that, and anticipating the run and playing on their side of the football, getting tackles for losses. So I like what French, Reggie Hughes, and Jeremiah Brown has done. You've seen some of Sean Myers in there also. But for the most part, I think that they can still step it up in between the tackles a little bit and on the gap filling and play a little bit more physical there. I think that's what Houston's going to come with their running back and their power design quarterback runs. You're going to see the quarterback lead in there with a couple of pulling offensive linemen also as the lead blockers. So they're going to have to be ready to step up in that hole and be there. But I like what they've shown so far. A lot more athletic group at the linebacker position. The safeties, I think, still it's kind of like the quarterback position. They're looking to solidify that spot next to Carter Stockmeyer, whether that's going to be Ben, Tawfiq Bayer, or another young guy that come in and play. But so far, I think Ben has filled in and played pretty well and made some plays back there in the backfield. So I think it's still, something to prove on both ends out there for the linebackers and the DBs.
Got over 1,000 people watching us live. This is the morning run. Adam and I in Houston getting ready for this kickoff. Gets the game tonight. We're on ESPN with the Colorado Buffs taking on the Houston Cougars. Dukes and Chico, the morning run is live. It is conference play. The old high school coach almost came out of it again. I almost said district play. It's conference play. One thing I want to talk about on that schedule, Adam, you talked about, what a difference it would have been if Georgia Tech were a little bit down the road versus being the season opener. One thing I know that Houston has been doing with their coaching staff is they have been getting ready for us. And we can't discount that, because when you look at their first two opponents, we didn't have a choice but all summer long. We got to get ready for Georgia Tech. They had Stephen F. Austin and Rice, and no disrespect to those programs, but there's a reason there's a 0 and a 9 in the scoreboard. And so they have been able to schematically look at some things and do some things where they could totally focus on this matchup after they got on their quote-unquote preseason, whereas we didn't necessarily have that advantage because you had to focus on your week one opponent, for most of the summer. So having said that, man, I'm even more convinced that putting them in a position of not knowing who's going to be quarterback or not knowing who's coming out on the D-line, they saw two different things on film from Georgia Tech and Delaware, and I just think that helps you when you challenge your opponent to have to do some extra preparation.
But they also haven't been punched in the mouth really yet, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's the other side of it. Going against Stephen F. Austin and Rice, and you get a little mojo. And I don't know what the right answer is into what really battle tests you going forward, but Houston has not been battle tested. I think we could agree on that. And so that's the other side of it. But yeah, no, they've been able to spend more time on Colorado. I feel like sometimes, though, Neely, and I'm anxious to get your thought on this, is that coaches can sometimes have too much time to prepare for an opponent. And it can sometimes kind of paralyze players a little bit versus like, all right, we get this next opponent, you get 3 days, and it's kind of a cram session, and they go out there and they play a little faster. It kind of depends on the opponent, I'm sure, in the coaching staff and how they deliver that. But I think that's a component of it as well. And I do think this is a Houston program that is on solid footing, going to be pretty good going forward. But I don't think we know what this Houston team is in terms of the Big 12 competition quite yet. I feel like we know a little bit more about Colorado at this point.
Adam, when we was at the car dealership, I would sign my own name with that and be your co-signer. We can drive off together because you nailed that one. They have not been punched in the mouth yet. They have not established an identity yet. There is a program on the rise. I totally believe in what their head coach brings to the table and what he will accomplish there. And so we will see what that means right now stacked up against Colorado. But there's another unique advantage that happens, Adam. These players for Houston, haven't been under the lights like Colorado has. And when you look at that game against Stephen F. Austin, look at that game against Rice, this is the game that they know everybody's going to get to see them. And how does that impact not necessarily their preparation, but their play? Are they going to be jittery? Are they going to be anxious? Are they going to try to make a play and end up making a mistake? Where our guys are more settled and calm, we're used to cameras everywhere. We're used to being on ESPN. And it really doesn't make the meter in the locker room go up or down just because the game is televised. It'll be interesting to see how the Houston Cougars respond to that for their third game of the season, coming off their previous two opponents.
Yeah, I think, and one thing that we talk about when you talk about a guy like Willie Fritz, Houston's head coach, he's like that boxer that just wants to make the game ugly. Like, he wants to make the match ugly. He's going to be he's going to do the things that take the air out of the ball. He's going to want to have time of possession, and he's going to want to make you uncomfortable. How does this, like, so we knew Georgia Tech was going to be primarily a running attack, and we knew what they wanted to do, and they were going to do a lot of eye candy and window dressing just to get your linebackers out of their gap assignments, and it worked for the most part. Delaware, you knew they wanted to throw the ball. They wanted to be able to get their ball to their slot guy, which they did. Houston, you don't know as much, but you do know they're going to want to run the ball with Dean Connors, who actually played at Rice the year before, and then they're Connor Whiteman, somebody else, and he's going to be involved in the run game as well. But they want to make it an ugly matchup. When you talk about styles making fights, if knowing that you have an unorthodox guy who wants to kind of make it an ugly fight, is that a positive for Colorado? Is it a negative, or is it just in between? You just got to play the game. Okay.
I would say, Adam, if you want that first, I didn't hear who was directed to. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just left it. Well,
I think the simple answer there, Dukes, is find a way to have one more point on the scoreboard at the end of the game, right? This is, as you get into Big 12 conference play this year, again, kind of similar to last year, it's like style points don't matter. You wanted more style points maybe last week. I know 31-7, the scoreboard looked really nice. You wanted a few more style points in there just from a continuity standpoint going forward. Now with Big 12 games, and you'll get back to that with Wyoming next week, you want some style points there. But in these conference games, there are going to be a lot of teams that muck it up. And so finding just a way to have one more point than the other team is what it comes down to for Colorado going forward. And that's kind of the thing that is going to be the case for every team in this conference this season. There's not a lot separating a lot of these teams. And so that's kind of what you've got to get down to. And again, going back to Willie Fritz and kind of his style, this is a football team that's well coached. And so they're most likely not going to beat themselves. And so you, as Colorado going into this game, you play your game, you should come out with a win, but it's not going to be easy or pretty.
Yeah, I like that, Adam. Great question, Dukes. Al Davis said it, just win, baby. I think that's what Adam is speaking to. But one of the things about mucking it up is, damn, it's worked. The Colorado Buffs, we scored 30 points. We're 9-0. We just simply win when we put points on the board because we got a sound defense. It's when those teams are not just successful running the ball as in it leading to a scoring drive. It's when they're successful running the ball and it takes 8 minutes out of a quarter because we haven't scored on defense. We haven't run, special teams all the way back for a score and putting them in different kind of situations. So I think, Adam, if we can capitalize off a turnover like we didn't do against Georgia Tech, if we can get Harge or Q for 6 to take one of these kickoff or punts back, I think those kind of style points make Houston have to call a game differently versus if they're successful running and just eating so much clock that every time we have the ball, we're in kind of a 2-minute drill, which, hey, if it stopped, that 2-minute drill looked pretty damn good last week. So it's just interesting to see what the dynamic is going to be from a team playing ugly ball against us and if that really controls the clock, because that's at a disadvantage to us.
I can go for I like that answer a lot, Uncle Neely, because when I think about it, and Coach Fritz is just like some people call him Mr. Rogers, like just as plain as can be, doesn't want any TV time, but he's a fiery guy, and he tells anybody who will listen, I want to run the ball, I want to control the clock, and I want to make you turn the ball over, and we're not going to turn the ball over. As simple as football as possible. But what people don't realize is Coach Prime is the same exact way. He wants to run the ball. He wants to make sure you play good defense, and he wants to control the clock if possible. So I think that's one of those things where it may not look like it from the peripherals, but really when you dig into it, these guys are a lot more similar than what people would realize from the outside, from the naked eye. What I did want to talk about,
including Dukes, including how they built their staff. Like they have a great staff over there, not just a great head coach. And they have been together and revamped programs. They know how to take somebody that's down and build them back up to prominence. So that's my respect to that coach and that coaching staff over there. We're just gonna do all we can so that rebuilding process doesn't start against us. But when you look at, don't for a minute think that this is the Houston team of last year or the year before that, because if nothing else with the portal and the new coaches now getting their footing, you're not paying Houston from a year or 2 years ago. You're playing the Houston team that's now.
Yep, absolutely. I did want to talk about the cornerback positions specifically. We know DJ McKinney has been as advertised so far this year. That second cornerback spot, you've seen multiple guys in that area. And it's always important to know who the number two guys or for the number two guy to be up to speed, because if you've got a lockdown guy like DJ McKinney, usually they're going to try the guy on the other side, whether he's on the field or the boundary side. Right now, how do you see that cornerback competition going and how it's played out so far?
Well, I love the way it's played out with opportunities, because it's played out in the season like I see it in practice. And then I see guys make the most of that opportunity. You had an interception last week, and I know the quarterback looked up and saw that new number in the game and tried to challenge him, and look what happened. So I'm expecting more of the same this evening when those guys get out there to play, because you're exactly right. People are going to try to avoid number 8, and that creates an opportunity on the other side of the field if you're playing disciplined football, technique football. And that's something that Coach Kevin Mathis just drives home, is, hey, know your assignment, play your role, and if you happen to give up a play, don't live in that play. You got to turn the page, because they're upstairs in the booth, and they're watching body language. So they find a guy with his hands on his hip or a guy sulking, guess who they're going to throw right back to? So be in the game. Don't get too high and don't get too low.
Yeah, RJ Johnson's interception came at a good time last Saturday, because as Coach Prime told us that Makari Vickers has put those guys in that room on notice. We do know Tion Parks is going to be out today. So I would assume, and Neely can correct me if I'm wrong, but that RJ would be the guy. But Makari Vickers is a guy that was pretty highly regarded coming out of high school, and they had high hopes for. And it's kind of crazy that he had heart surgery in March and is now back in the mix. And so good for him getting back in there. That PBU on third down early in that Delaware game was pretty impressive play. So it'll be good to see what his development looks like. And that's one of those positions that, you like the number one guy and you're just waiting for that number two to really emerge. And maybe by the end of the season, Vickers could be that guy. We'll see.
When you think about the secondary as a whole, I think you've had some positives, and maybe there's been some times where you said, okay, well, we would like a little bit better play in this position. How much does play calling go into the performance of a secondary? Because it's one of those positions, and not just play calling. It could be the defensive line play, but how much of the play so far would you put towards other parts of the defense, whether it be play calling, D-line, linebackers? And what do you think what do you think these corners and safeties need in order to be successful tonight? Adam.
Yeah, in terms of the defense, I think it's really more about what Colorado does, honestly. They've seen enough film in terms of what they need to correct. The talent is there. Now Houston, on the other hand, you can't discount the talent that's on that roster now, because they had the third-ranked transfer class in the Big 12 this year. So offensively, they definitely made upgrades at quarterback, running back, and receiver. Really, but it's about Colorado playing gap sound. You do that against this Houston Cougars team, you're going to be okay tonight. It really is. It comes down to kind of the simplicity of things, in my opinion.
What you think, Aunt?
Yeah, I love that, Adam. Coach Prime has a slogan in the hallway as you're going toward the weight room, toward Coach Swayze's office, that says the man doesn't try to be the man, because the man is the man. And I think that's what this defense needs to understand tonight, that you don't have to be so hell-bent on proving that Delaware was not the anomaly. Just go out and play sound football. Don't try to make the play. Let the play come to you. I think you got the athleticism from the down lineman all the way back to the safety to make plays. And I think you got the athleticism on defense and the depth on defense to make the Houston Cougars do things they don't want to do, to get them out of play, to be disruptive, to make them change, what they have worked on. So, and that starts with being disciplined, being where you're supposed to be, even if it's boring, even if you're sitting like, man, it's a quarter in, I haven't made a tackle. If you've done your job, you have contained them. What we lost Georgia Tech week 1 was we lost containment. We were letting them do what they wanted to do instead of corralling the play and keeping it where we wanted it. Houston has added in some pieces, Adam, on offense, certainly, but they have a totally different secondary than they had last year, and it was a damn good secondary, at least in conference play. And I think all 4 of them back there transferred out. So there's going to be some unique opportunities that really spell out what Adam is saying is, let's be us. Let's do what we've worked on. And from a defensive standpoint, let's stop the run, get out the quarterback, and make them do differently than what they've been working on. Georgia Tech got to do what they worked on all summer against us.
Yeah, they did. They did. Yeah. That's a great point. What you think, Chico? I don't know if you heard the question, but I was asking, how can this, what do you think is the most important component to make the secondary successful tonight? Is it going to be play call and defensive line play, linebacker play? Who do you think will help the secondary the most?
It's going to sound crazy, but the offense.
Okay.
Putting points on the board. And it's not just going to help the secondary. It's going to help the defense as a whole, because I think it puts them in a position to play fast, get after the quarterback. It puts Houston in a position not to just turn around and hand off like I think they want to. They looked at the film and said, hey, man, we could pound these guys. We could ground and pound these guys. We could turn around, hand the ball off. We can have some design quarterback runs. But if we're up early in this ball game, they're going to have to pass the ball and lean on that passing offense. And I think that's where this defense is best at. That's going to help the defensive backfield. They're going to know that the pass is coming. And that's when you play your best. You know what's coming, and we can play fast. So I think the offense getting up early, scoring some points will help this whole defense as a whole, and it definitely help the defensive backs. And probably you'll see some picks too if this quarterback has to continually throw the ball. But I think we do have to contain him, not give him those running lanes, and that's the game plan for tonight. Control the line of scrimmage and get up early and make them play from behind. That's what I see.
Chico, I respect, admire, and love that answer. That was a great answer, because just think, had we done it against Georgia Tech, the offense had 3 gifts from the defense on turnovers, and had we scored off 2 of them, even 2 field goals,
it's a different ball
game. So if we go out there defensively, can get a 3 and out, get a turnover on downs, whatever the case may be, it is so important to the offense to make the most of that opportunity, because now you then get to see, as Chico articulated, now the defense can really gamble and go after the quarterback now and be disruptive. I love it.
Yes, indeed.
Breakout player tonight. Prediction.
Oh,
I'll start with Chico. If you just had to make a guess on somebody who's going to have a really good game, offense or defense, who would you go with? Man. Adam, you next.
Offense or defense?
Offense or defense. Who do you think has a big game tonight?
Man, you could just take your pick at the running backs, whether it's Taylor, Michael Welch, or Price. Take your pick there. And then defense, I'm going to say Carter Stockmeyer. He's going to be key back there in the pass and the run game. So I'm going to say Carter Stockmeyer. And they have a tight end you have to cover too. So Stockmeyer will be that.
Yeah, they do. Good call, Chico. Adam?
I've got Joseph Williams with a highlight catch tonight. It seems like he's starting to kind of catch his groove with Colorado. This is the quarterback safety that got converted to be a receiver his senior high school. And even at Tulsa last year, it took him a little bit of time to kind of find that groove. I feel like this is going to be a game for him to come out and have a couple highlight catches. Defensively, I look for a bounce back effort from Preston Hodge in that nickelback role.
Man, I like all those. Damn, I'm like Adam. You try to say a different name. If he had to go ahead and echo BDS, I'm trying not to echo y'all. Y'all pick some good ones. So let me put a little Texas flavor in on defense. Let me go with DJ McKinney playing in Texas, and we'll make a big play. And on offense, man, I gotta go with Trackhawk. I think he has a 30 to 45 yard run in him that ends in the end zone. Like he is so explosive when he gets the ball. So let me go with Trackhawk on offense, DJ McKinney on defense. DJ's motivation, Texas crowd, a lot of family coming in. Trackhawk's motivation is just what he does.
I like it. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Trackhawk. I think I expect Trackhawk to have a good game tonight, and I think defensively, give me Martavius French. I think he has. I know they want to run the ball. His role is gonna be super important. He's shown he has sideline to sideline ability already. Has a nose for the football as those fumble recoveries that we saw. So I would expect for French, my man from Memphis, to have a great game tonight. I want to just give a real shout out to us as a whole for our maturity growing, because there was not one pause today, and there were a million pausable moments. So I just want to give a shout out.
I missed him. Give me one. Give me one, Dukes.
Nope.
He lived for the pauses.
Nope.
Because I promise you, I wasn't trying to be mature. I just did. Guess my earphones need charging. I guess I just missed it.
It was a million. When we go back and watch the film, we got to go.
Y'all ever heard somebody say that? I wasn't trying to be mature. I was.
Oh. Man, you think I've lived 54 years trying to act 54? Hell no, I want to be 13.
Crazy.
That's what it is. It finally comes out.
See,
somebody, Smokers KB said ground and pound in the chat. Goodness gracious. Can't say ground and pound nowadays, Adam.
No, all right, so 52 minutes left. Prediction time.
52 minutes ago. We got 7 minutes left. All right, let's get up in
52
here.
minutes left.
Okay.
No, I'm joking. All right. Prediction time. You go, Chico.
Me go first, big man. All right. Oh man. Well, let's say this then. I'm going to predict, because it depends on who starts for me. But let's just say this. Let's say Ryan Staub is the starter, right? I'm going to predict Colorado comes out here and Staub does his game management type deal, but he makes 2 to 3 big plays going down the field when least expected for the Buffs. That's going to be the difference in the ball game. The run game going to be huge. I'm going to say the Buffs win a tough game in Houston, 28-21, Colorado. He's here.
Adam.
Appreciate that, Manny.
So I think this is going to be a game where the possessions are not plentiful. So I'm going to go a little lower scoring. I'm going to go Colorado wins this game 27-24. It's going to be a grinded out type football game on the road. Was surprised to see that Houston was favored and the line moved all the way to 6.5 at one point. I think it's back down to like 4.5 now. But this to me is a closer football game than that. And I see Colorado kind of building off what they did defensively last week at Delaware. Somebody in the chat says that I don't believe in Coach Prime. That's definitely not the case. So I'm going to throw that in there at the end of my prediction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a combination of what I've heard so far. I do think that possessions have the potential to be hard to come by. So I'm giving us 14 on offense. We will get a defensive or special team score. That's 21, a modern field goal. Give me Colorado 24, Houston Cougars 16.
And Dukes, I said 28-21, right? I'm going to say 28-24. All right. The Vegas spread, they be hitting, dog. So I'm going to say 28-24. Just
man, so the spread in Vegas. So when I see spread activity like this, now this is just my gambling mind, but when I see spread activity where it seems like they want people to put money on Colorado when they played with the line, and then too much money came in. They pushed the line back down. Now they want people to bet on Houston, so I'm going the opposite. I'm going the opposite again, putting my money on Colorado, and I think it's going to be more of a game where Colorado punches Houston in the mouth. They haven't seen an offense like this yet. They haven't seen a defense with this many athletes, and I think Houston may get frustrated and start scrambling. And once they get down, to Chico's point, I don't think they could throw the ball with Colorado. So give me Colorado 35, Houston 17. Yes, 2 touchdowns at least. I think Colorado puts it on them and puts the country on notice tonight.
That's what I'm talking about.
And you the only one who picked over 30 points. I love it.
And neither one of y'all told me who is going to be y'all starter quarterback, so that matters too. Who y'all quarterback tonight?
The one that Coach Prime sent out there.
Who your quarterback tonight? This is not coming to America. What type of food do you like? Whatever type of food you like. I know you were trained to tell me the type of food that I like, but I want to know the type of food that you like. Do you have a favorite meal?
Whichever quarterback he put out there.
Adam, can you help him out?
We touched on this. I don't know where you were, Chico. I love it, man. But
yeah.
I said I think that it's going to be Ryan Staub. I would probably go with Caden Salter going forward.
Yeah. Shoot, man. Yeah, I don't know. I think if everybody thinks it's Staub, man, I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Prime go with K Salt tonight, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest.
Thank you, Adwalk. I appreciate that. Which is why I'm not answering.
Right.
No matter how many times she go tell me now. So if you think I'm a damn fool, if the head coach would answer, why I would say that else?
Right. Hey, Chico, can you get the super chats, or you want me to get them?
I can get them. Are you able to click on them, Duke? You can do it now.
Let's see.
Oh, okay. Well, no, you can get them right here. I'll put them on here. Y'all can try to read them.
C Maven AI with the $19 super chat. CU must win as a team. This game isn't about one star, but about proving that CU's upward trajectory from 4-8 in 2023 to 9-4 in 2024 is sustainable through balance, depth, and execution. Thoughts? I think you're right. I think you are correct. And I think that the $19 even makes it even more better. It makes you seem even smarter. I want to tell you. So Steve Maven AI, great answer. Appreciate it, alley-oop, Chico. Anybody else got thoughts on that?
Okay, Sean.
I think you nailed it.
Now, great point, Steve Maven AI. Let's go, Chico.
There you go, people.
Real Hoss with the $1.99 super chat. I appreciate it, man. Where is number 99 to help with the D-line in the middle? I think he's fighting into the rotation, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't care if it's 99, 79, 69, 59, or $1.99. And to Coach Prime sees it in practice, you will not see it in the game. And that's not a diss on any particular person. That is the functionality of this team. Under Coach Prime, there are a lot of guys who are gamers who can go into a game after a bad practice and have big games. But the way this staff operates, they have to see that consistency, in practice, and again, just the key word being consistency. And then you have to fight your way in and up. So I think that maturation will come and those opportunities will come. Truly an asset to this team.
Thought you was about to run for the border with that one. 59, 79, 99. Run for the border. And
by the way, Gabriel Lightfoot is listed as out tonight. Mm-hmm. So you're not going to see him out there today.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's go, Chico, next one.
John Cooper.
Shout out to John Cooper for becoming a member. We appreciate that. All new members. Thank you. Frank Nitty with the $5 super chat. Do you guys think Coach needs to trim down who plays at key positions like running back, wide receiver, and cornerback and not rotate as much, even if players catch feelings? Just to answer quickly, I think the players are going to dictate that. If somebody is head and shoulders above the 2 on the depth chart, then that person will continue to play more than everybody else. But if nobody's head and shoulders above the next person behind them, and not just Coach Prime, I don't think any coach would break down a rotation when you're getting a similar production from all the members of the rotation. That's me.
I agree with that, Dukes, and also you have to factor in matchup. Sometimes from week to week or even in a game as things evolve, one player over another presents a better opportunistic matchup for you.
Yeah. I'm always of the philosophy of, hey man, sub in wide receivers, especially after they run deep routes. And same way on the defensive line. Example, when I saw Big Barnes run 30 yards down the field last game and make a tackle, immediately I'm called, hey, get out of there. Somebody get Barnes in. Because I don't want him to be winded for the next play. And I got another guy over here who can play, who is well rested. So I wouldn't say cut down on that.
And that's what I was Chico saying about BDS earlier. I don't remember if you were on or not, but the people who may not be getting opportunities, quote unquote, because of him, you still get opportunities. He comes out the game.
Yeah. That's just starting, especially on the defensive line. You're going to rotate, as we've seen Colorado do a lot.
You're also coming off the Delaware game, which provided an opportunity to rotate more guys, right? I think when you get to November, the fact that more guys have rotated through is where this program is going to be in a better spot than other Big 12 programs. And it's hard to kind of look beyond kind of the current situation tonight at Houston, 1-1 start. But like the depth on this team is what's going to help it be strong in November. Whereas just so many Colorado teams I've covered, they just go into the month of November just limping in, and you got walk-ons starting at a lot of spots that aren't prepared to be out there. And so this is going to serve this team well, I think, later in the season.
Yes, that's what it is. Great point right there about building that depth for later on in the season. Next super chat.
Frank Nitty again with another $5 super chat. They have a tight end you have to cover. Chico. Pause. Make them play from behind. Chico. Hey, yo.
See,
I didn't do it. Big Mike, having things. $5 super chat. Just win, baby. Great show for some entertainment on lunch. Appreciate that, Big Mike.
Appreciate everybody who's watching us on their lunch break, whatever time it is. It's morning somewhere and it's lunch somewhere.
Frank Nitty on the roll, $2. He said, spread activity, Dukes. Pause. Hey, man, it is what it is, man. I tried to grow up.
Adam, I missed all those.
Yeah, I was trying to grow up, dog.
Yeah. Unc said he wasn't trying to be mature. But
no, I wasn't at all.
He just missed it.
I tell you what, it's not a super chat, but I see D. Shotta mention Farrakhan Jr. jerseys. I started to pick him for offensive player because he's at home. He's at home.
Yeah.
Crib.
And also, I think go ahead, Adam.
I was going to say, Farrakhan last year in this high school team had 4 returns for a touchdown, 1 game. What kind of coach continues to put the ball in that man's hands after the first one? Come on.
I would take who was a damn fool for 100, Adam.
And I'd say you ain't lying.
That's it,
Adam, any update on I think you put out an update on the injuries or anybody there? I see Amarion Miller didn't make the trip. Any news or updates you guys want to put out there before we get up out of here?
I think Omarion is on the trip.
No, he made the trip.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, that's a false report that I saw somewhere.
Yeah, he was listed as questionable. The game day report's going to come out. I put up a thing on Twitter. The only guys that are out are Tion Parks, Terrence Love, TJ Branch, Kyle Carpenter, Philip Houston, Charlie Williams, walk-on tight end, Samuel Okunlola, unfortunately missing the second straight game. Jaheim Otis is listed as out, and Gabriel Lightfoot, who we talked about.
Yeah. I was about to say, because I saw O on the field saying that he's basically back home down there in Houston.
Yeah. So then why would you say he didn't make the trip?
I don't know. I just read something. I thought about it like, wait a minute, hold up.
You believe somebody else writing over your eyes.
Anyways,
anyways,
coming out.
hey, real quick, Chico. Hey, Adam, I want to ask you this because you've been covering Colorado a long time. What does it say about the state of the program that people are unimpressed with a 31-7 victory over Delaware?
That people have short memories. I would say that's the initial takeaway. No, it's just, I think what it is Colorado fans have quickly adopted a lot of pride in this program. And, I think it's always coming off a loss. There's kind of sometimes this feeling of protecting yourself as a fan, right? Emotionally. And so you see some things that aren't going well in the first half and you kind of lash out. But it's just funny because we have a message board. And by the time you get to like Monday or Tuesday, people come back to sobriety and clear ways of thinking. And all of a sudden, then kind of the perspective changes a little bit. But, game day threads can be kind of a cesspool. Just it's fueled with a lot of alcohol, I feel like.
Yeah, I will tell you this, Adam. I've seen it happen as part of the prime effect. Jackson State, like Colorado, was historically strong program. Then went through some down years, and the down years were so down that people began to accept it. Like, hey, man, I'm not surprised when you drop a game. Well, enter Coach Prime, and the standard changed immediately, and it changed so drastically, people forgot that we were losing. And now this new standard is the standard, and so it just became this thing of where when you drop one or something didn't go as expected under Prime, it was a much bigger deal than it was before. So shout out to the Prime effect for making people believers, man. I see my man Grime Times in the house.
What up, Grime?
Yeah, we gotta get Grimes, man. I've been enjoying Grimes Texas high school, Dallas high school football shows. Man, he's killing it in the game, keeping it real as long as he could be. And if you follow him on IG, just hope you could be one of his close friends. I'll leave it there.
Shouts out to Adam and his show and William Gardner. Also, you want to plug that, Adam, one time? Shout out to the coach.
Yeah, we do that usually on Sunday. Yeah, William Gardner, he was a walk-on at CU back in the day, worked his way up to be able to play in a bowl game for the Buffs. And he's got very strong takes on a lot of CU related topics, but he's a big Coach Prime fan. And, we have a good time every Sunday doing that show.
Yeah. You got a lot of shout outs in the chat. They were on the screen as well. So they didn't want you to miss it. People shouting at you in that show that they watch you. So keep up that good work, Adam. And as always, I know it's Friday. We had a presser on Wednesday, but Adam is with us every other Wednesday. And so we'll get that back on track. Adam, it's been real having you. See you at the game. Chico, you ready to land that plane?
Appreciate you, Adam. Yes, sir. We're ready to land this plane.
Thanks, guys.
Get up and up out of here. Y'all know what it is. It's the morning run. Uncle Neely, Big Dog Chico, and Dukes the Scoop. Shouts out to all the runners out there who's checking in. Hey, put a W in the chat for some good energy for the win today at Houston. You understand me? Y'all, I apologize. I didn't hear everything today. I had to get a new computer, and this one is slow as molasses. So I got to take it right back and send it back to the transfer portal and get another one. So I'll be back on track. You ain't cutting the mustard, big dog. You got to get them out of here. You're not smart, fast, tough, disciplined. Neither do you have character. All right.
They say Chico got the baby hair, Sean.
Baby hair? Shout out to T-Braids, 808 Hawaii. They're looking fresh out there. There are a lot of compliments to you, Unc.
I'll try to switch it. Don't try to.
I'm dead serious.
I'll try to. Don't try to put it on me.
Somebody said Chico got his edges done. Y'all going too far now, dog. Come on, man.
Chico with the edge control.
You sound pretty again.
Where all the hair places at in Atlanta? Y'all holler at us for some type of advertisement. All right. Thank y'all for coming out. Y'all know what it is. We're going to have a great day. Great win today. We're going to be on live on Big Dog Chico channel for the game, if this computer works for me. And we also have post game on the Bleacher Report app and back on YouTube, the Pregame Network, and everything.
Chico, 3 a.m. Colorado time. What time is it in Hawaii? You just
3 a.m.?
Yeah.
Colorado is 4 hours. Houston is 5.
So Colorado time, 3, 2. It's like around midnight, 11, something like that.
11, yeah.
Man, I get back to the crib, man. We might just hop on for a midnight Hawaii show.
What you mean, tonight?
Yeah. It'd be night for you. It'd be morning for me. I'd still be up. I'm supposed to get back by 3 in the morning.
Hey, let's do it. I'm down for it.
Chico said when? Who?
No, I had to think about it. I was like, wait.
Yeah, like, what I got to be? It's Friday.
He know them Italian twins don't come in at 6 in the morning, so he good.
Dukes, you read my face, Dukes.
Yeah, I thought, hey, boy, I know my cousin. I know what you was like.
What I know about him is Here's what Chico do, Dukes.
Oh, here we go.
He's so concerned about why you're asking something, he don't never answer.
Cause it's you. You got to think about it first. Hold up. Why you ask me this? Set up.
We got a text message exchange where I say, "Hey man, who is this person?" This dude give me 50 different answers. I said ninja. Answer. Oh, this is what it is. Like he could. I'm sitting asking this man, what time it'll be there? What you drive? What you?
Yeah.
Man, I ain't gonna ask you to help me move. My car broke down or something.
Cause I got stuff to do.
Yeah, she like, man, what you doing Saturday at 3? Why? What you need?
I'm doing something. It depends on what you need. It depends on what you need.
Hey, I need somebody help me move. Oh, I'm busy. I got 2 Thailands coming in. Oh, I'm free.
You coming to drop off some money? I'm available.
Hey, my favorite one is shoot. What you doing? Can you make it do? Shoot, absolutely, maybe.
Most definitely, probably.
Most definitely, probably. I'm gonna try to be there if I can. More than likely. That what Deuce told us about one show one time. Hey, Deuce, we're gonna do a special show. All right, count me in. More than likely, I'm gonna probably try to do whatever I can to be there. Possibly.
Might be able to.
Hey, Mr. Miami said, "Deuce, where your glasses at?" Man, they fell out my pocket after the game. I ran over the Yankees.
Yeah, you ran over them?
Ran over. It ain't nothing I can do for them. They over with. 0.
You dropped them and ran them over. Damn,
Dropped
that's a
them,
double
didn't know
win.
I dropped them. Heard a little pop.
Oh.
Get out. Nightmare. The Yays are gone. So you're going to see barefaced Dukes because I ain't buying no more.
Hey, man. I did that with my cell phone in Memphis, Tennessee, in traffic. So here's what happened to Chico, dude.
You know that Android didn't break.
No, here's the beauty of it. So I was pumping gas, right?
Right.
And set my phone on top of the car. I turn out to the intersection. There's a red light immediately right there. My phone on top of the car, I don't know. When I bust the left, I heard something fall, right? Now I'm in the middle of the intersection at this point. I got a little ways into that left turn, and I said, damn, that was my cell phone. I have to go down and make a U-turn. In my head, like I know it's been run over by now. I get back to the intersection, that somebody sitting right there, ain't nobody hit it.
Oh, man.
I need me an iPhone with an Android screen so it don't crack on me.
Hold up, man. I don't know if y'all can see this. Y'all know, they the wood grain yays. That's just one of them. It's over with.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, play taps.
That's what. That's why I get the fake ones.
Hey, boy, I'll tell you what. I'm going to Walmart Vision Center this time. I ain't buying no more Cartiers. It's over.
Hey, last thing before we get up out of here, I saw. Went to a little corner store, and I saw the thing that I used to buy back in the day. I know y'all used to buy it. Y'all probably ain't gonna agree with me. Y'all gonna say,
Rhino?
That was just you, Chico. No, not the Rhino 3000.
You got a gas station pill?
No, not those. But y'all remember, it was about as small, but y'all remember the little gas station earrings you used to buy for the $5? Little glass earrings? What?
I ain't even trying to be funny. I just ain't got my ears pierced, so I don't want you to think I'm just saying no for no reason.
Okay, well, yeah. If you have your ears pierced,
right,
you've bought one of those gas station earrings, especially if you lost your real ones, if you had real ones, and you going to the club or something, just going out for the night, man, let me get the little $5 earrings right there, put them things in. I saw them the other day. I said, "Damn, they still make these? They still sell these? Who buys these?"
Right.
Knowingly. All right. Well, for the people in the back, we appreciate y'all. For everybody in the front, make some noise, left and right. Y'all know what it is. TMR Live, the biggest. Make sure y'all go to the website and get you some merch. Support the brand. UncleChico.myshopify.com and get you some Dukes the Scoop merch, TMR merch, Uncle Neely merch, the pregame show, Big Dog Chico, and everything else. That's the schedule. Stay tuned. We will be live each and every ball game, before, during, and after, some way, somehow. Gonna be up and up out of here. Peace in the Middle East. It's the morning run. UBH naive. Yeah. Chico bought his smell good oils from the gas station.